Y'all good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Final session.
That's it.
I know.
The finale.
I'm like weirdly nervous.
So am I.
Yeah. How are you feeling right now?
It's a mixture of excitement, but there's sadness in there too. It's hard, but I knew it would be.
Why do you think now's the time?
I think there are just some signals. A year ago, there were buyouts at KSAT, and I was offered one, but we were doing things like Know My Neighborhood. We were doing things. I had a Vietnam special I wanted to finish. There was an election coming up for a new mayor. I wanted to hit 30 years. Amidst all of that, I got a great opportunity to work as head of strategic communications for a company called Perfected Claims, to advocate for people who need help.
And advocating is a huge part of what you've done just through journalism for 30 years.
One of the reasons I wanted to do this interview at Tacos El Rey is because this is where we did our first ever Know My Neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I still believe passionately, and I'm proud of everything we did with Know My Neighborhood. We have made a difference in these neighborhoods that we've profiled, just this one. I mean, you can look right out the window and there's a stoplight that wasn't there. The HEB is getting remodeled up the street. The ramps that used to go to nowhere that were right out the door aren't there anymore.
And remember, we were standing here-ish for the very first Know My Neighborhood.
Yeah.
And there was a crowd of people watching
Yeah.
as we're doing it live. And
Yeah.
we heard people cheering and saying, oh yeah, that's right. This is something that's going on in my neighborhood. And I feel like that was sort of our first indication of, okay, we've got something here. This is something special.
This was a place where I think you and I discovered the fact that, okay, what we're doing is important.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is resonating.
And that was your idea. That whole thing was your idea. A big question we get all the time in this business is, what's your favorite story or your most memorable? What's on that list for you?
I think the homeless special that I did, more than 15 years ago, probably closer to 20 years ago, where we just told the story of San Antonio's homeless and the fact there wasn't a 24/7 shelter. So if somebody that's homeless wanted to take a shower, brush their teeth, put on a fresh set of clothes before they went to a job interview, there was no place they could do that in San Antonio. So we aired that. Mayor Phil Hardberger saw it. Then Valero CEO Bill Greehey saw it. Community activist Patty Radel got on board, and they made Haven for Hope happen. I did a story with a man by the name of Ray Hildebrand. And he was a former police officer. He was an investigator in the DA's office. He had a stroke at the Justice Center. Just a few blocks away is Downtown Baptist. He was taken there. But the city had no stroke centers. So it took hours before he was airlifted to Austin to get the proper stroke care that he needed. And Ray and Suzanne sat down with me and told their story. He was a strong man. And for him to allow me to show him at his weakest, I think he realized something had to change. So we aired that. Suzanne became very involved in trying to get stroke centers, and now there's stroke centers all over town. And just all the people that trust you with their stories is humbling. They trust us to tell their stories, and that is never lost on me.
This is not a question, but an observation.
Yeah.
You've been the top guy, the face of KSAT for years, for decades. But when you come to a place like Tacos El Rey, or when we're out somewhere doing a live show, people come up and they're excited to meet you. You shake their hand and you say, "Hi, I'm Steve." Like they don't already know who you are.
Yeah.
You're so humble, and you have carried that through my entire time at KSAT. And I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah.
But I think that has made us such a strong team, has made KSAT such a strong team, and I think it's what's connected you to people in all parts of this city.
I just don't want to assume that people know who I am. I think that's a little,
It's not you.
it's a little hoity-toity. I don't ever want to lose the fact that these are my neighbors.
Let's talk about some of the highs, some of the celebrations,
Yeah.
the ways that we got to celebrate San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean,
Fiesta, Spurs.
I remember the first Spurs championship, and I wasn't working. I was off that night because if they won, I was going to be at the airport when they came back. So I was at Broadway 50/50, and I'm watching it with my friend John Bentley, who used to be in sports, and we're watching the game. Spurs win. We walked from Broadway 50/50 downtown, and there's a stream of vehicles. I mean, everybody is stopped everywhere. Once we get downtown, people are like passing us bottles of adult beverages out the window, you know. I mean, it was just like one big happy family. I've been in San Antonio 4 years at that point, and that just confirmed everything I thought about San Antonio. And I've just had it reconfirmed time and time again. Fiesta's the same way.
How are you going to say goodbye on Wednesday?
I don't know. No idea. I mean, I've got like an outline
You have an outline?
of things I want to say. I haven't written it down.
He has notes?
Well, I was hoping you would write it down so I could copy off you what I should say. It'd be much like a Q&A.
I am
Q&A segment. It's time for my next chapter.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I didn't thank you for being a great partner. So thank you.
It truly has been an honor. And I'll say something else. I remember the first time we anchored breaking news together. It was the fertilizer plant explosion
Yep,
in West. And I was so nervous because I was still new. I had only been here a year or two maybe.
Yep.
And I was standing next to you with no script, ad-libbing breaking news, and you never made me feel like the new kid or not worthy to be next to you.
Well, you weren't. You weren't either of those things. So, I mean, what you and I had doesn't happen often. So, I appreciate that. You know, there's just some people in your life that are pillars. You were one. Jim Boyle is one. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Jim.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Greg Simmons and Steve Brown, who took me in as the new guy. I didn't say, well, he's not Bob Salter or Jeff Brady or people who've come before me, and so there are just certain things you just pass it on. And I'm grateful to our viewers. If nothing else comes out of this, I hope they know how grateful I am.
I love you.
I love you too.